Hi everyone. This is a brief video just to go over the remaining tasks in this course. We are close enough to the end that I think in this one video we can go through and see every step along the way towards successful completion in this course. So we come back from our Thanksgiving holiday here, starting on Monday. And as always, in week 10, it's things are scheduled in the normal way. We will be reading for Wednesday 3 student samples of the reflective essay, right? We go over the final reflective portfolio and the essay entailed therein in more detail in the sister video this week. So in order to prep for that, we're really just focusing on brainstorming and reflection. All of these tasks, of course, are directed toward successful completion of this final reflective portfolio. So we have 3 samples to read for Wednesday. Honestly, if you've looked at the discussion board for week 10, I think you could sort of skim them for Wednesday and then not really read them in more depth until Sunday. If you have a full course, if you have a full workload, if you have some assignments, as you can see on Wednesday, we've got 3 assignments coming up, one of which is very huge. So this is all to say that you can read these student samples, probably get away with skimming them and reading them in more depth for our response to the week 10 discussion board. So in class, so to speak, as we're looking at samples of these student essays, as we are beginning our final regularly scheduled discussion board, we are focusing entirely on reflection and this final reflective portfolio. Outside of class, our discourse community report is due. These are big weeks for us. Our discourse community report is due. That's worth 200 points on Wednesday. Friday, by the final day of finals week, that's December 11th. Our final portfolio is due. That's another 200 points. These are crucial weeks for us, and weeks in which we must finish strong if we want to succeed in this class. It's really I'd like to say that all of our hard work is paying off and coming to fruition here. Okay, so week 10 discussion board on Wednesday, and of course we're finishing our discourse community report project with the report itself and then the reflection memo, which by this point you've become pretty used to. One thing I want to say about the student samples: these are reflective portfolios similar to the one that we're doing here, but they're from other institutions. So there are different goals, there are different learning outcomes, and of course there are different writing assignments. That doesn't mean that they're not helpful for us. These are going to be helpful to see what it looks like when students set out to do what we're doing, which is reflect, select, collect, and reflect on the writing they've done throughout the term and how that serves as evidence for their for meeting those learning outcomes. Another thing to note about those 3 readings is they are the portfolios. That means they entail the essay, and then much longer is the writing artifacts, is the collection of the work that they've done throughout the term. So as you're reading these in week 10, you do not have to read, these documents are huge because each of them contains, entire terms worth of writing. So you just can focus on the essay. If I were you, I would just pay attention to the essays themselves. And maybe breeze through the portfolio. You certainly do not have to read all of the work that each of the student did throughout the term. They're just there to model for us. 2 of them, I think, are there to model for us what it looks like to make a good reflective argument and to support claims, even if they're just claims about your own learning, to support them with evidence. In this case, evidence being your own writing. One of them, I think, is a good example of what it looks like to do that pretty poorly. So we've got our regular Week 10 discussion board, finishing up our discourse community project on Wednesday, and a pretty quick turnaround. Of course, we have our usual Week 10 discussion board replies due at the end of the week, and we're doing a quick turnaround here, and by Sunday we're turning in a draft of our reflective essay. This will be our last draft peer review revision process. We're going to try it out, draft a reflective essay that has to be in by Sunday, of course, so that bright and early on Monday morning, I can assign peer reviews. And that means that you will have a quick turnaround to provide some feedback on your peers. That peer review is going to be due on Tuesday by the end of the day, so that needs to come back really quickly. We've got some tight turnarounds here, and that will give us then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to make any changes, to make the revisions we need to really have an excellent reflective portfolio due. Friday is absolutely the last day I can accept work, including the final reflective portfolio. I'm giving you the entire week of finals week, just because I think you deserve and will need as much time as possible. But I can't go beyond that Friday because grades are due very soon thereafter. So really need to, this is really a pretty hard deadline for us in the course. Great. One thing to point out is we are having an extra credit. The only extra credit throughout this entire course is our discussion board that will be going on in finals week. It's not Wednesday, Sunday because of the reasons I've mentioned. I can't keep that Wednesday, Sunday regularity. I can't keep that Wednesday, Sunday schedule. So it's Tuesday, Friday. Finals week is crazy. All classes are upended. Everything's a mess. So I do apologize for that. But remember, work hard, especially if you want to earn those extra 22 credit points. Don't forget not only to be working on your reflective essay, but also we'll have an extra credit discussion board going on in finals week. When that Friday comes around, when all your finals are done and your reflective portfolio has been turned in, you'll be done. It will be the end of Writing 122, Fall 2020. I will reach out to you all next week and in finals week about this first year writing anthology and award. So if you're wondering what that is, I'll touch on it later. If you're interested right now, feel free to write me an email and let me know. In short, it's your option to submit some of the great work you've done this term, both for publication and for a possible first year writing award, which I'll go over those in more detail. I'll really try to incentivize you submitting your work for publication in more detail later on. Otherwise, that's it. We can see all the way to the end. We're almost there.